Coming to you guys cold, wet, and excited, just like my wife when she divorced me. Alrighty. There's three main questions we're gonna answer today. Three main questions. Three main questions we're gonna answer today. Right. Number one: how does my actions affect others? Does this choice make my situation better or worse? And am I better than I was yesterday? Those are the three main questions we're going to answer today. Normally, what we're going to try and do here is we're going to take advice from older people that know wiser than us or in the same situation as us. Because if you do not know this, I made a video about, I think it was about a week ago now, or at least it was a week ago for you guys. Oh, you know what I forgot to mention? And the fact that we are here where dreams are made and die. All right, the high school football field. This is where men's dreams are created and die all in the same fucking year. All right. So that's super dope. That's why we picked this background. I hope y'all like it. Plus all that. That's cool, right? All right. So I made that video talking about how I was super uncomfortable with my living situation, not only my situation, but my mental situation, my mental health, and just how I was looking to create a channel, and not only a channel, but a safe space for people who are struggling the same way I was, to not only vent about their problems, but to get legit, actual advice from people who are struggling in the same way that they are. So I got a nice comment that really made me, it really turned my heart, and it really made me sit and think about it for a good minute. So I'm going to like this, and then I'm going to get on to that. So, Bob Saget, MD9, said, "Man, I'm going to be straight with you. I'm 32 and I'm exactly where you just described you are at that age. First of all, I want to point out that you are reflecting about yourself. I don't know if the wind's going to let me make this fucking video. First of all, I want to point out that you are reflecting about yourself and you are being honest. That is the very first step about moving forward as an adult. You'd be surprised how long it takes people to get to that first step. Some even never get to it. So that right there tells me that you're brother. I switched up the space because the audio was super shitty. Right. So getting back to it. There's no such thing as a grown up. It's funny we have a conception growing up that when we turn 18, we got to do all this stuff. We got to know ourselves and we got to choose a path and move straight to that path. The same way you were at 10 is the same way you're going to be at 18. And you're going to be that exact same way at his age. He is 32. That's terrifying. Being 18 is just when you take over writing your own book. You don't grow up at 18. 18 is when you start growing up. The game literally just started for you. It's a game that continues for the rest of your life. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to be upset, and you're not going to figure out what the fuck. You're going to make mistakes. Being upset that you haven't figured out the game and haven't finished it when the game never ends is silly, especially when you're on the very first page. That kind of opened my eyes a lot, but unfortunately, I'm so obsessed with just trying to be successful with it. I don't know if I can accept that. Um, right or wrong are not objective. There is no true right or wrong. What is right or wrong is what you choose. At 18, you feel all this pressure to know the path. Do the right thing and don't make the wrong choices, which is very confusing because it feels like there is a clear, definite thing of what is right or wrong. Because it feels like there's a clear, definite thing of what is right or wrong, which is absolutely not true. If it only affects you, then right or wrong is completely a person to you, and you can only be in it and can only be defined by you. Not sure what he meant by that. And 99% of knowing which choice is right and which one was wrong can only be seen after traveling that path. A better way of looking at it is better or worse, deciding what moving forward looks like, and his calculation of being better or worse we gamble on. The more you truly know yourself, the better you'll be at making the right choice. Just remember to keep being true to yourself because your subconscious also has a say in what you say and what is right or wrong. Make sure you'll be able to live with yourself.
We had to switch up because it was super, super cold outside. So I hope you guys like the new view. Um, Thank you to Bob Saget for posting that comment. It really meant a lot to me, and I hope that you guys not only post your comments, like the videos at me on my Instagram, all of that stuff. I'm very open to comments, concerns, and all of that fun shit. I love hearing from you guys. So let's talk about number one, how my actions affect others. Right. Growing up, I didn't live the best life. I was taught that my I didn't really. Okay, sorry, let me go backwards. Um, so how do my actions affect others? Well, when I was younger, I unfortunately was taught that the adults around me's feelings were more important than mine. So I've always grown up with a hypersensitivity to the people's feelings around me, and that unfortunately has led me to not only neglect my own feelings, but feel as though other people's feelings are more important than mine, even in a serious situation where I knew my feelings were more important. Because of that, I've slowly had to learn that not only the things that I do affect other people, but the things that other people do affect me in ways that I've never even noticed. Like I've had to cut off some friends just because I realized that, their mindsets and the way that they would bring themselves to me, and the way the things that they would talk about just really weren't aligning with who I wanted to be and the type of things I wanted to be around. And then we'll do number two, right? Number two is super simple, super easy. Let me take a look at my phone real quick. So I'm not only super aware of what I'm doing to other people, but I'm aware of how the other people around me are treating me, and the way that they're treating me actually affects me as a person. So I think that that's something we all can do and grow better as men, is understanding how our actions affect other people, but also how other people's actions affect us in our day to day lives. I'm in a weird period in my life. So, so number two, does what I'm doing make my situation better or worse? You have to take a look at what you're doing in your day-to-day life, your day-to-day routine, and decide whether that 2 hours of PlayStation is going to make you better as a man, or whether you're doing that to relax because you've put in your 40 hours of work for the week. You need to understand that while everybody around you may be going out and getting fucked up on those weekends, your goals need to align with what you want to be as a man. If you want to be financially stable, if you want to um, get closer to God, if you want to live a more fulfilled life, then what you're going to have to do is put your feet on the ground and do what you need to do what you know needs to get done no matter what. So when you ask yourself, does this choice make my situation better? That's every single choice. That $6 cocktail, that $5 beer, that $35 eighth. If you're not doing everything you need to do, there's no reason why you should be buying these things. There's also no reason why you should be treating the people around you in a negative way, because then you're going to get upset when they treat you negatively, and that's just not right. So you need to think about that. Number two ties right into number one. We're coming full circle here. How um how do your actions affect others? But not only does this choice make my situation better or worse, because if it makes your situation better or worse, how is that going to affect your mental health? And then how are you going to carry yourself throughout the day because of that? That's a big thing that I try to think about. It's another thing that I think we all can try to do better as men, is really honestly sit and think about the actions that we take in our day-to-day lives. So for the final one, am I better than I was yesterday? I think that if you answered question one and question two appropriately and positively, then there's no reason why you're not right there with us in question three. There's no reason about it. If you're not happier than you were yesterday, if you're not more financially stable, if you're not mentally more clear, then you're doing something wrong. The alcohol isn't working, the weed isn't working, the therapy isn't working. Whatever you're doing is not working. You need to do something else. Get yourself into the gym, start lifting a little bit of weights, read a book, and focus up. Point blank. We came full circle. So let's talk about what we learned today. Right? We're gonna ask ourselves the same three questions, and we're gonna tell you exactly how we answered them. All right. Question number one: How does my actions affect others? We talked about not only my life and how I feel as though I'm hypersensitive of my actions, but not only the people around me. We need to make sure that we are hypersensitive to what we are doing, but also how other people's actions affect us. Point blank. Question number 2, or B. Does this choice make my situation better or worse? Point blank. If you are not able to answer that question positively, then you are doing everything wrong, and that is exactly why you are not getting anywhere. That's exactly why nothing in your life is changing. And C, am I better than I was yesterday? Like we said, if you're not able to answer question 1 and 2 extremely overall positively, then I highly doubt you're able to answer number 3. So that's 3 things I want you to take into your life today. Whether you do it or not, I'm here. I'm gonna do it. You guys can support me on Patreon, YouTube, and Instagram. I love you guys, and we'll be back for the next video probably on Monday. This would probably be out on Friday. If you guys have comments, questions, concerns, put them in the comments. I want to hear about you guys. I want to hear about you guys' lives. I want to hear about the trials and tribulations that you guys go through. Peace.